All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, without doubt, there are aspects of the problems of this country that are like mysteries, and some of those mysteries are starting to become clear to Nigerians now. I have said here before that Africa remains Europe and America's biggest markets. We buy their products because we are too underdeveloped to produce ours. In other words, they profit from our underdevelopment. Therefore, they would rather we remain underdeveloped. When Peter Obi went to Canada, he said during the town hall meeting that he would stop foreign aids as president of Nigeria. He said because Nigeria already has all it takes to be a great nation. A man who would not take aids, do you think he would take loans? This means Obi is ready to end Nigeria's indebtedness to IMF, World Bank, and all those foreign organizations. He understands what it means to be free. Do you think the IMF would want a man like that? A man who would move his country from consumption to production, and the dependence on Europe and America will begin to reduce drastically? No, they wouldn't. They prefer a man who can help them keep Nigerians poor. They prefer people who can help them keep Africa poor so that we don't break away from the shackles of dependence on Europe. And to prove that, few hours ago, the IMF shocked Nigerians with the statements they released about the reforms going on under this administration. And at that point, it became clear to discerning citizens that TINUBU is actually being told what to do. He's being told what to do to keep Nigerians poor so that our creativity and gifts, talents as a people will be suppressed. Before I show you what the IMF said and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this update. We are discussing with Miyetti Allah taking other measures to protect farmers, says Enugu government. The Enugu state government says it has taken proactive and tested measures to ensure the security and safety of farmers to boost food sufficiency in the state. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Agro-Industrialization, Patrick Uburu, disclosed this in an interview with journalists on Monday in Enugu. The commissioner said the government collaborated with the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to establish an Agro Ranger Squad. Mr. Uburu said the squad, meant to complement other security outfits on ground, would work hard to protect farmers and farmlands in the state. This squad, with specialized training on agricultural protection and other technological gadgets, will checkmate all forms of insecurity complained about by our farmers, both commercial and smallholder farmers in the state. The squad are stationed in major farms in the state as well as special agro-processing centers and facilities, he said. The commissioner said the ministry was also discussing with the Miyetti Allah group how they could join in ensuring security for all. He said they would help us identify those headers who are not their members and penetrate and instigate acts that cause misunderstanding among headers and farmers. Regarding the incessant farmers and headers clashes in the issues or council area, the commissioner said the state government, in partnership with the federal government, had established a military base in Issuzo. Mr. Ubru noted that the state government had invested heavily in agriculture as a business and had formed many agro-industrial partnerships with donor agencies. You heard that. I brought this here because I have reported cases of insecurity in Enugu State many times. So it is only normal that I report what the Enugu State government is doing about it. They said they established an Agro Ranger Squad with civil defense. That is not bad. But they said they had set up a military base and they are discussing with Miyetti Allah group. Let me say this without mincing words. All the peace accords signed with Miyetti Allah group across Nigeria have failed. So that one too they are working on is going to fail. I have no doubt about it. And if you have a military base in any community, you better carefully and painstakingly scrutinize the soldiers that will be sent to that military base because the army is compromised. There are repentant Boko Haram members who have been recruited into the army. If they send them to your military base, what you'll be seeing is the kind of situation in Plateau and Benue, where the people are complaining that the army helps Fulani headsmen to kill the farmers. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here says, Wahala, Mieti Allah to protect farmers in the east. Wow. Ikechukwu here says, Ben King, this is your Enugu that is working. Shake my head. We are now discussing with terrorists so that our people can actually farm this planting season. Chai. And this tweet by Joseph says, this governor of Enugu state is under a spell, I swear. His senses are not functioning well. Anyway, that is the situation in Enugu right now. If these are the best decisions they can take to combat insecurity, may God help them. But if these decisions were taken as a result of compromise, there will be consequences, heavy consequences. Now, let us look at that statement by the IMF that has awakened and opened the eyes of many Nigerians. Look at how the papers reported it. IMF backs TINUBU broadening tax base, intensifying tax enforcement despite Nigerians enduring hardship. The International Monetary Fund has backed policies promulgated by the Bola Tinubu-led administration to expand the tax base and intensify the enforcement of tax in Nigeria. This is despite the hardships faced by citizens due to the removal of fuel and electricity subsidies, the floating of the naira, and inflation, which has led to an astronomical increase in the prices of goods. The IMF said this in its 2024 Article 4 consultation report on Nigeria. The Global Financial Institution outlined the outcome of its executive board's consultation with the Nigerian officials on economic developments and policies that ended on February 23, 2024, after consideration of its staff report on April 29, 2024. Welcoming the bold reforms implemented by the Nigerian government, the IMF commended the authorities' focus on revenue mobilization, governance, social safety nets, and upgrading policy frameworks in the face of Nigeria's significant economic and social challenges. It hailed the Bola Tinubu administration's work on a comprehensive revenue mobilization strategy, including boosting tax enforcement and broadening tax base. According to the international body, mobilizing revenue and reprioritizing expenditure, including phasing out costly and regressive energy subsidies, are critical to creating fiscal space for development spending and strengthening the social protection while maintaining debt sustainability. Maintaining debt sustainability. They are debts. They are the ones loaning us money. So they have to ensure that we are able to pay them back. The things that we are crying about, they don't care about those ones. The IMF didn't talk about the wastage in government. They didn't talk about the huge sums that politicians are collecting. They didn't talk about the 15 trillion naira that is being wasted on that Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. What they are concerned about is increasing taxes, so that the productivity of the people will reduce. They don't care that businesses are dying in Nigeria. They don't care that multinationals are leaving the country. They say it should continue to tax the people so that our creativity and talents will be suppressed. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. And this tweet by Chuk says, now we know who our number one problem is. That is it. Ademide here says, later churches will say, let's pray for Nigeria. When are we going to start praying against spiritual and physical forces like IMF? Nigerians are suffering. All we see on media platforms are issues of tithes and offerings among top pastors. Oh, and Mr. B here says, I'm convinced IMF and other similar organizations are designed to keep African countries in poverty. That is it, my brother. And Dr. Dave Obafemi here says, the number one enemy is known now. Now, let me just stop here with the comments. But thousands of Nigerians from the north, south, east, and west all commented, under that update. And people are beginning to see that the man there is actually being told what to do by some foreign organizations, and the things they are telling him are the things that will favor them as foreign organizations. Some of them have given Nigerians heavy loans and they want their money back. The $750 million they are trying to take from World Bank is giving conditions on how much we must generate internally before they give us the loan. You can imagine what is happening. People are doing business with an entire nation. And this is the same thing happening in many other African countries. The deposed president of Niger Republic, Bazoum, was being controlled by France. And that is why we need a man like Peter Obi. In Canada, Peter Obi said he will not be going to other countries to go and tell them that he wants to be president of Nigeria. He said, why must he go and explain himself? He said, do their own aspirants come to Nigeria to explain to us? So why should we explain to them? Nigerians need to wake up. If we are going to take our country back, if Nigeria is going to take its place in the Committee of Nations, if this country is going to bounce back, we are the ones that will do it ourselves. And with good leadership, it is a piece of cake. We can work it out with good leadership. We don't need to depend on any foreign country. We have all it takes. Let us just purge ourselves of hate. There is too much hate towards one another. Let's purge ourselves of this hate and back the right leaders with all that we have got. I remember during the campaigns last year, while Peter Obi was going to Arise TV, Channels TV, AIT, and granting interviews, some other candidates could only go to Chatham House and speak. They could only go to UK to speak. They said all Nigerian media houses are not worth their presence. And as a Nigerian, if you look at this, you should be able to use your tongue to count your teeth. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So, don't go away. Don't go away.